Welcome back to another episode of the Easy Button Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Ruud-Johnson, and today's show, we are going to be going into a lot of the most popular questions that I've been getting asked live or in our community or on Instagram. So without further ado, let's get right into the show. Well, today's show, you guys, is a fun one. I usually do once a month these Q&A episodes. It's going to be a part one and a part two. So we'll release these throughout the week, part one and part two, because these go a little longer, usually about 15 minutes with the amount of Q&A that we do. Today's questions are really focused on business building. The question I get a lot is who do you hire first as you're building your business? Well, again, you guys have talked a lot about the hiring ladder, which I talked about earlier in this episode. You guys want to start on the admin level. So an admin assistant. The emotion that you're typically going to have there is overwhelm. You're overwhelmed with tasks. Similar for fulfillment. Fulfillment is your boots on the ground. Your internal transaction coordinator, part-time or full-time. Most of you guys don't realize that for $300 to $500 per transaction, you can have a transaction coordinator that works for your company that handles your escrows. You can 100% have that. That exists for you and your business. And people are amazed that they no longer have to spend their shower time worried about tenants and paperwork and scheduling closings and signings. Then you have marketing. That can be done by agencies or it can be done by an internal marketing manager. You have a marketing manager for $5, $7 an hour internally that schedules your mail, that tracks your KPIs, and makes sure marketing's going out on time and it's tracked the right way when your KPIs are hit. Do you have agencies you work with that do cold calling for you, that do mail for you, that do pay-per-click or PPC or SEO for you? Those are all things that you need for your business as well. Do you have a sales team? So do you have lead managers and follow-up managers? Do you have acquisition specialists? If you're doing wholesaling, do you have disposition managers? Okay, do you have people that are running the sales functions of your company? And then you get into the leadership role. So do you have leaders of departments? Do you have an acquisitions manager managing your sales team? Do you have a dispositions manager if you're wholesaling, managing your dispo team? Do you have a project manager if you're flipping or developing, managing your projects? Do you have a operations manager managing your finance and operations and projects in your company? Do you have a president or a COO or an integrator is what it's called in Traction, who is integrating your vision into the daily life and breath of the company? Do you have a head of marketing who's responsible for your branding and marketing campaigns? And you're building a leadership team and a culture. And that to me is how you build a sustainable business, is by checking all those boxes and doing them in order. That is an in order list. You do not want to do one before the other, in my opinion. Another question, guys, that I get a ton and I got this week was, how do you leap from $1 million a year to $3 million a year in this business and bigger leaps than that towards 8 figures? The answer to that is people. You guys out there that are trying to scale with AI and tools and tech, you can do a lot there. But the answer is you build the people and the people build the business. The thing that I realized that people at 8 figures in their business understand, that people at $1 million a year don't understand, or even smaller, is that a big business is just a collection of really intelligent people working together in a culture that they all have bought into and a vision that they've all bought into. And business at a high level looks the same no matter what business it is. So you go to the CEO of a real estate, big real estate company, $50, $60 million a year or more. You go to the CEO of a software company, $100 million a year, whatever it is. Their job ultimately is very similar. It's to manage a group of very talented, experienced individuals towards a vision aligned with their culture. And what I realize is the people that grow this business really, really big, and eventually other businesses they start in real estate and other, is they understand leverage and they understand the equation of who, not how. And they're building a machine that builds a machine. And what do I mean by that? They're building their systems and their operations and their people that then go out and build their product and to deliver their product and sell their product. I think of this like it's 4 levels of management. You have doers. So when you're early on, you're $1 million a year, you're going to be doing a lot of the work. You might be selling deals to buyers still. You might be dealing with title and escrow companies still. That's it. You're a doer. Then you have a team leader. Team leader is someone that does the work and teaches the work. So if you're doing $1 million a year, you might have sales guys on your team that you teach the work to, but you also might be doing the work too. Then you have managers. And as a manager, you're managing the work. So you're managing the team leaders, you're managing the doers. And then as a leader, you're leading the company, leading the culture, leading the vision, leading the management team towards managing their respective departments correctly. That is the highest form of business that most people get to as they build big companies, is they understand it's who, not how. They're building the machine that builds the machine. They're building their management machine. They're building their finance machine. They're building their culture. They're building their vision, and they're building machines and functions to service that. And then that machine that they build builds the machine, so to speak, builds the company. And they're spending time coaching and training their team and their company and investing into their people and investing into their systems and their processes and their vision. Because at a big level, everyone that works for you, their vision for their life and their income has to fit in your vision for your company. And you have to sell them to that and get buy-in from them day in and day day over and over and over again. And that's at today's Q&A, guys. I don't take an insane amount of questions because I want to go deep on these things. And this is going to be a part 1 and a part 2. But at its core root, at the end of the day, if you want to go from $1 million to $5 million and beyond, it's a who, not how. It's a people equation. And if you manage your finances correctly, you keep getting better, you stay focused, and you get really good at hiring, managing, and building good people and recruiting good people, and you build your rockstar team, you can get as big as you want. That's the reality of it if you have the right people, because your business will never outgrow the collective sum of ideas in the business. That's why outside mentors are so important. That's why there's so many billion-dollar consulting companies, is because your business will not outgrow the collection of ideas internally. And one of the processes that we have that I'm the most proud of when we hire a new employee is called our wandering the organization. And for the first 7 days, they wander the organization. They show up to random meetings. They listen to random calls. They check in. They meet people in the organization, and they come to the table and we ask them for their ideas and feedback because they've been in other organizations and they've seen what works well in other companies. And when they come in, we want their brain. And we've changed so much in our business when we hire from people that come in. We say, hey, wander the org, give us feedback. And they have feedback on pricing or strategy or product or how we run business in general. And we make decisions off that because they have a fresh perspective. And fresh perspective is so important. And good hires and good culture is so important. So thanks for sticking around for another episode of the Easy Button Investor Podcast. That was a part 2. Every month I try to do 1 to 2 Q&A episodes. Very important. And I hope you guys get value out of there. Send me a DM if you guys have questions, or if you're in our school community, let me know. As always, you guys, I cannot express enough that you are only one, even if you've done a ton of deals, you are one deal away. You're one tweak away from changing your life and your business forever.